This could help getting into the lab.
If it looks like I'm busy, that means I'm busy.
What are you working on?
It's immensely complicated. Get a postgrad in advanced math and electrical engineering, then I'll explain it to you.
Put it in layman's terms.
Fine. There's this shiny magic that lives in the power lines, and it's dangerous and sly like a fox. And I'm using math to trick it into leaving the power lines, without accidentally making everyone die.
That sounds like you're working on the wireless transmission of electricity to me.
If you want to put too fine a point on it, go ahead, stranger. Which brings me to my next point.
Who am I?
Please let the answer be something that justifies me kicking you out of my workspace.
I'm here on behalf of a new potential owner.
Wrong.
No, that's correct.
No, I mean wrong answer for me. Not the answer I wanted to hear.
Do you know why Ryan would want to hurt Nico?
The police already asked the same thing.
Well, what did you tell them?
I said if I were to have killed Nico, it'd be because he stole my work.
Whoa, hold on.
It's just a for instance.
Is it?
Yes, that's because I think logically. I force myself to think from A to B to C, and so on. Ryan is all over the place. For her, it's A to zucchini, to that thing from TV, to maybe C, then on to some non sequitur. I don't trust anyone I can't explain.
Who do you see on an average day?
Just me. Sometimes Ryan. You ask a lot of questions. Ever thought of being a scientist?
Sometimes.
Good answer. The world needs more people with questions, and fewer people who are sure they have the answers.
Did you work directly with Nico?
No one worked with Nico. We barely spoke to each other. That's the way he liked it. He practically lived in the lab. If he wanted to look at my work, he'd just root around in my hard drive.
So he'd come in here when you were gone?
No, he'd use the network.
He'd just snoop in your files? That seems kind of annoying.
Not kind of. Entirely. It's unethical, and it allowed him to steal.
What do you remember about the day Nico died?
More than I'd care to.
I imagine. Did anything stick out?
Yes, the police. It was weird. One of us killed Nico, and here they were, talking about a basketball game, like it was any other day.
What else do you remember?
I remember Ryan. They took her out in cuffs. She came back the next day. Never said a word about what happened.
Do you like Ryan?
Let me save you some time. I don't like anyone.
That can't be true.
Observe, and I'll demonstrate. Other people.
You mentioned Nico stealing your work. Can you prove that?
No.
You must be pretty upset about that.
Say what you really want to say.
Did the police know your feelings about Nico?
What a peculiar question.
Do you have a peculiar answer?
I do in fact have a peculiar answer. I actually told the police the truth. A more interesting question is, how is Ryan still a free woman?
Why shouldn't she be?
In this case, the smoking gun is a miswired Tesla coil that she built.
Did you dislike Nico?
Very much so.
Would you go as far as to say you hated Nico?
I would go that far, and further. That guy was a jerk.
That seems a little disrespectful, considering...
Does it? Am I supposed to pretend he's great now that he's dead? Lots of jerks have died, and he's one of them. He's a dead, brilliant, jerk madman. The world would be much better off if he'd lived to share more of his intellect. But I selfishly am glad I'll never have to deal with him again.
It seems strange to me that you could be so blasé about a murder.
I deal with things on my own time. But if you are desperate to watch someone cry, Ellie's always available.
What do you think of Ellie?
She hates me so much that she switched to the night shift. Come to think of it, she hates me so much I should actually feel a sense of accomplishment, which I now do. There it is.
What did you do that she dislikes you so much?
Why do you assume it was me?
I took an educated guess.
I did too. Still couldn't figure it out. But the fact remains, we are not besties, as she likes to say. We are worsties.
What's so special about Tesla?
If you have to ask that, you haven't done your research.
I mean, to you, what brought you here?
The work. I turned down Los Alamos in a tenure-track position to be here. Most people don't know this, but the majority of Tesla's work was confiscated by the FBI.
Why?
Could be he was designing weapons. Could be he had a breakthrough that threatened the energy magnates. Don't know. It's all been hidden. What matters is, there's a little bit still here. I always suspected Nico had some squirreled away, and I'd be able to find it. But either he didn't, or I couldn't.
You said you were searching for Nico's work. Did you ever look in Nico's personal things?
Of course I looked.
Can you tell me a little bit about Gray?
He always gives me an industrial-sized portion of the creeps. The only person who ever liked Gray was Nico, and I think he just liked keeping Gray around to scare everyone away from his work.
Did he try to scare you away from Nico's work?
No, he tried to scare me away from my own work.
What does that mean?
He was Nico's heavy. I figured he'd leave once the police gave the all clear. Trust me, if he's still here, he's up to something. Your boss would be smart to get rid of him.
What was Nico working on before he died?
There wasn't a name for it yet, officially. It was basically wireless energy transfer. That was helpful for you. So how about you tell me something about your boss?
I'm sorry, I can't. Confidential. What are you doing?
I want you to tell me what you know, but I can't tell if you're a pushover or not.
Not.
Ah, efficiency. One of the rare graces of a post-manner society.
I'll let you go.
See you later. What are you doing?
I need a car to get in the lab. I guess this one doesn't work.
What's up?
Goodbye.
Bye.
that's still have to can't check that's done. Still have that's done. Still have that's haven't still have that's done. Still can't check that off yet. Still did that.
Hey there, champ. How's my favorite buddy?
What do you want, Deirdre?
What do I want? This is about what you want, Nancy Drew.
Is that so?
It cannot be more so. I come bearing apologies. I want to help you, Nancy Drew. I want to be your girl on the inside of the exciting world of criminology.
Why the sudden change of heart?
Because apparently it still counts as plagiarism if you pay someone to write your paper. I mean, is capitalism dead? Because that's what it seems like.
And you want to help me because...
I made a bargain with my prof. If I can help an actual murder investigation, I'll get credit. So I help you, you help me collect data for my paper, and balance is restored to the universe.
How exactly can you help me?
I've got permission to use our criminal database. In fact, I already read up on the case.
That could come in handy. All right, it's a deal.
Great. Call when you need help, and I'll do what I can. Just don't call me when I'm busy.
Will do. What do you know about surveillance video?
That you watch it?
Have you heard of cases where the video has been faked?
Oh yeah, all the time.
How can you tell if the video's been edited in some way?
It's getting harder and harder to tell. But the number one thing you need to do is to make sure that you've got the original video feed. If you don't, analyzing the data file isn't going to do you much good.
Is there a way to know if I have the original?
Yeah, that's the detective part. Not in my wheelhouse.
I need you to check on 911 calls the night of the murder.
Consider it done. I'll text you the results.
Yeah, what?
Who was here the night of the murder?
I was.
Who else?
Ellie and...
And who?
Computers say someone, but the cameras say no one else. Nico walks in that door alone every time I watch the tape.
How many times have you watched the footage?
Don't know. Lots.
Why?
It's my job.
What do you think of Ryan?
Hate her.
Why?
You're smart. Carry the sums. You'll get it.
You mentioned rewatching the video. Do you think something is hidden there?
Not hidden. Missing.
What's missing?
It's not a what, it's a who.
I don't understand. Who are you looking for?
Nico's killer.
Did Nico's work put him in any danger?
Yes, energy is power. Ultimate power.
Why would that put him in danger?
People who want power will not hesitate to get what they want.
What do you think of Mason?
Don't like him.
Why not?
I've got my reasons.
What are they?
Secret. No, actually, I hate him because he's up to something.
What?
I have no idea. Not for lack of trying.
Why were you so concerned about what Mason was up to?
He was messing with tech he didn't understand. I had to make sure he didn't do anything stupid.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
How bad are relations between you and Mason?
I wouldn't say they're bad.
You might be the only one who wouldn't.
They're not great.
I get the impression that you two hate each other.
My Gram raised me to look for the good in everyone, even those who do me harm. Most times I find that glimmer of good, even in the meanest people. But Mason flashes that smug smile of his, and every rage center of my brain releases all of its hate Mason chemicals. Wish that weren't the truth, but it is.
I also get the impression Mason doesn't like you very much.
Now that is fortunate. If I had to deal with him puppy-dogging all around all the time, I'd never get anything done.
Who else was here the night Nico died?
Gray. I think that's it.
Did you know Nico well?
No, but it wasn't for lack of trying.
So you weren't friends?
I don't know if he had friends.
He wasn't well liked?
No, it's not like that. I just don't think he needed people. Or if he did, then he hid it well. He was too much of a scientist.
You said Nico was too much of a scientist. What did you mean by that?
I'm organized in the way I think, but Okay, take Mason for example. He lives his life the way I work.
How so?
In all of the ways. When he makes a sandwich, he alphabetizes the ingredients. He's not human. Not that it's hard to explain. Like if a computer had legs and a sweater, it'd be Mason. What it comes down to is, I'm 20%. Mason, maybe 60. Nico was 100% a scientist.
Did Nico have a hard time with people?
Not a hard time, not exactly. It was like he was plugged into a different current than the rest of us. People were to be studied and observed, but that was all he wanted. At least I hope that's how it was.
Was Nico close to anyone in the office? Did he talk to anyone?
Don't think so, really.
Why do you and Mason work opposite schedules?
I'm a night Ellie.
Any other reason?
And as a good Southern girl, I know if you don't have anything good to say, you keep it zipped, like this.
Bye.
Bye. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Mason's not very forgiving. You don't want to be messing with his stuff.
Sorry, I was just a little curious.
You know, he's not here. Make you a deal. He's been lording his high score at aggregation over me. Take him down, and I'll let you poke around.
I better get going.
Bye.